and welcome to Add More Zest. My name is Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Let's see if we can get this tiger finished today. So I'm working with our new tray that launches on Friday the 9th at 9 p.m. and our new pen. I do have a new glue dot in this pen, so I may have to do a little bit of messing. We shall see, but we're going to see how far on we can get with the tiger. I'm kind of hoping to have it finished, but it's also one of those that there may well be more symbols than I realise. And we'll see how time goes. I'm actually filming this on Sunday because we spent a lot of time yesterday sorting out the website to put up the new launch products, etc. Okay, let's dab that on my clothes and see if that helps a little bit. So yeah, I ended up spending the day yesterday, or a bulk of the day, doing shop stuff. So I normally like to film my WIP and Waffle the day before, because then I can get it edited and uploaded and not have to worry how long the upload decides it wants to take, because it varies. I will let you know, it varies. Sometimes it will upload really quick. We've got fast internet. But sometimes, I don't know, I think it's more YouTube, because nothing else in the house goes slow. Just my upload to YouTube just has a moment. But I will plough on. I hope everybody has had an amazing week. We've had a week of getting ready for launch, making sure products, of course, are ready, working on a couple of other new coming soon bits. One I was kind of hoping would be ready for this launch, but it's not quite. A few tweaks are needed. Oh, I'm prepping the new colour cover paper holders. Very excited about those. I'm actually thinking of redoing how my cover paper is stored, which at the moment is just stored in a box with all of them. However, I'm not finding the inkling to use Christmas cover paper at the moment. It's not my vibe. The weather, we keep having some really nice days, cold but sunny days, and it's making me think that, you know, we will get spring at some point. We've sometimes had gorgeous spring days in March in the UK. It can be very hit and miss. We've then had a very cold April, but yeah, it makes me think that spring is on its way, and I'm not feeling Christmas cover papers as much. So I'm thinking of having a sort out and using some cover paper holders for specific themes of cover paper, and then maybe splitting some others by colour, or maybe using a tub for my sort of everyday, and then having cover paper holders for my more themed cover paper. I'm not quite sure yet, it's still processing through my brain, but I also got excited, of course, with the new cover paper holder colours. Though the first one I think I'll use will be red for Christmas, which was stock colour anyway. But hey ho, it's amazing what can set your brain whirring in a different direction. But yeah, it's been a good and busy week. I hope it'll be a little bit more subdued week, I think, next week, because I've got a lot of the prep done for launch this week, which is good, because normally I'm chasing my tail the week before, so I can concentrate on restocks and things next week to make sure that we are fully ready with as much stock of everything as possible to make next weekend go easier. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish this today. We shall see, but I'm kind of hoping to finish this off, if I can, in this WIP and Waffle. I've finished Field of Memories, which I'm pretty sure I told you all last week. And I'm dekitting that this week. I'll be dekitting that in the videos I do today. But then I'm not kitting up another one until next week. And I'm actually not filming it till next week either. That is intentional. I've been working on Walking in the Rain this week. So when I have my WIP and Waffle on Thursday, there will be a nice bit of progress. So I'm going to continue working on that this next week. And then when I film my Walking in the Rain WIP and Waffle next Saturday for a week on Thursday, you'll also have another update, like a bigger chunk done. And then I'll go back to probably only doing a section each WIP and Waffle. And then whenever I finish whatever my next painting is, it will sort of have a little bit of a spurt again. So we'll have little spurts on it where I get more done. So if I can get Purple Tiger done this week, I will do a Paint Gem Mini on the WIP and Waffle next week, which will sort of bring in some of those for something a little bit different. Okay, this glue dot is getting on my nerves. It's a brand new glue dot, so it does need a little bit of priming. I think it's only getting on my nerves because I'm trying to do a WIP and Waffle at the same time. Normally it doesn't bother me to just dab it on clothes or on my face or somewhere to prime it that little bit as I go along. But when I'm doing a WIP and Waffle, it annoys me more when it doesn't pick up the diamonds properly. Okay, right, I've got a few diamonds that just do not want to sit flat. But yeah, I hope everybody is having an amazing week. I do need to sort out my logbook photos, ready for my logbook update this week. I did have that on my list to do last week, and I actually took the paintings into the Admiral Zest shop so I could have space to lay them out on the floor and take the photos that I needed to do after last month's logbook update. Sort of wrote myself a list and didn't get round to it on Friday. So I need to do that today after doing this video. I might do it while the video's uploading. Try and get those photos printed out and ready. Right, will you... Oh. Readjusting that clip has just helped me catch one up here that I'd missed. Last thing I want to do is miss any diamonds. It's so infuriating when you're working on a painting, and it is a big area, so it's bound to happen. But it is really infuriating when I realise I've just missed one. Especially when I've got my light pad on, so things are loads clearer than they normally are. Okay, done on that part, moving along. Let's go on to comments, etc. So Grey Legrand has left a couple. She says she's hitting pause. This was the WIP and Waffle from a couple of weeks ago. She said she's hitting pause. She needs to make lunch and watch the craft room tour first. I've not done any updates in this craft room since that video, still not done any. I do have it on my list though to do some. There's a couple of little sort of tweaks that I'd like to do. I just need to be able to find the time to do them and get it looking, I don't know, just getting it polished off. Getting it finished, final polish on there, and the last little bits, and sort out those 3 10s, which I'm still ignoring, that have all fell out in the drawer. Oh, stick. Try dabbing it on my clothes again. Grey Legrand also says, she says, speaking of stash, she says she hasn't counted yet. She's almost out of logbook pages. She said she needs to order more. She wanted to wait for another launch, but she doesn't know if she wants to wait that long. This was a few weeks ago, so even though it's only a week until launch, this was a few weeks until a launch would be happening. She says, but it's the shipping to the US, she says, that isn't cheap. It's not. We've found the cheapest that we can for it at the moment, and we do get it pretty cheap compared to what it could be. Especially when doing it, we do it by weight, so we keep the costs. It's either cost or less than cost that you guys end up paying, because we err on the side of caution and we cover the difference if possible to keep it as low as possible. She's also said she does love the tiger. Love it. The cat lady. She says sorting of her craft room is 1/3 done. She said she has one side of her craft room sorted. She said she didn't realise she had so much cross stitch. It's amazing sometimes how you just end up collecting a lot more in one hobby than you think. Cross stitch wise, I have got a couple of bits that I have kept hold of, like a big frame and a small frame. But apart from that, I try to keep it to just my threads that I keep hold of, because then if I do find a pattern or one I want to do, a chart that I absolutely fall in love with, a bit like the Christmas one I did a few years ago, I don't have to buy all the threads for it. I have a good amount of threads already, but I've tried to keep everything else to a bare minimum because I just don't cross stitch very much anymore at all. But yeah, it's amazing how they can take over. Okay, I think I've got all of them. So what is staring at me now? I think I'm going to go for the things that I have the most of to start up with, in the hope that I don't miss the things that there's only a little bit of. I've just dropped the stopper. Oh, find my stopper again, because if I don't have a stopper in my tray, I'm a mess. Right, let's go for the letter E. Yeah, if I don't have a stopper in my tray, I will end up spilling diamonds everywhere. It is so automatic for me now to just tip my tray upwards when I've finished and let the diamonds collect in the bottom, that if I don't have a stopper, it will end up going everywhere. She says she's made a start on sorting her odd balls of yarn. She still has to sort and pack up more of the complete balls of yarn. And then she can make a start on her desk and her top shelf, which is all diamond painting. She says, thanks for another video. I'm kind of jealous of you at the moment, cat lady. I love organising a craft room, especially when there's different hobbies involved as well. I love the idea of zoning a room and having, you know, certain crafts in certain places, and how some crafts can cross over, and having those sections next to each other so that you can have a little crossover in between. Just organising, just love it. Absolutely love it. Jess, she says, the tiger is coming along beautifully. She says she likes that I plan to work on the Max colour painting off camera as well. So that's the one I do on a Thursday. It is 192 colours. I've got myself in a right rhythm this week with it. I tend to do 2 sections or 2 cover paper sheets worth at a time each time I've worked on it, and I've now got 2 complete rows done. So if you've been following along, I think the last 3 weeks I've just got like 3 sections of cover paper done. There's 7 sheets in a row. I've now finished 2 complete rows, so that'll be a nice video on Thursday. You'll be able to see that progress for the next couple of WIP and waffles on that project, and then it'll slow down again for a bit while I'm working on another one, and then it will speed up again when I finish one. So I think it'll be a good rhythm. She says as she's listening, she's working on her last section of Dreamcatcher Wolf from Diamond Art Club. She said she did this one for Wolf Along 4. Not to be confused with Wolf Dreamcatcher. Okay, so this is Dreamcatcher Wolf. But not to be confused with Wolf Dreamcatcher that she completed during a previous Wolf Along. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm guessing it's a design that you really, really like, which is good. She says she's loving this one with all the dark colours. Dark colours do stand out really nice, to be fair. They might not be, you know, the favourite go-to to work with in relation to it being dark colours, but the pictures that they can create when they have a load of dark colours in are absolutely stunning. If it's not rainbow colours, which also end up looking amazing. She says it's been a while since she's worked on a darker piece, and she said it has amazing rendering. She says the eyes are done perfectly, and the blending of the dark colours with the lighter ones around the wolf is just wow. She says she'll share a picture in the group along with her other finishes from January. She was busy this month. She says once she finishes the wolf, she gets to kit up her February kits. So many events, she says, but she does plan to sort of double dip a lot. The extra day in February, she says, will be much appreciated with all the canvases she has planned. Yes, we get 29 days in February this year. I haven't actually looked as to whether that's a weekday or not. I think it's going to cause me more confusion if it's a weekday, especially when getting things like the post ready to collect and needing to use the dates. I'm sure it will confuse me no end. That's for sure. Right, this glue dot is super sticky today. I don't know if it's the glue dot super sticky or because I have had cover paper over this canvas, but I've just had it placed over the top because of all the diamonds that we did last week. So I don't know whether the canvas, I mean the canvas is holding on to the diamonds perfectly great. You know, once I prime the glue dot and whatever else, it is getting hold of them. But I don't know whether it's just a little bit weaker glue than it could have been if it was fully covered in this last week. We shall see. Bobby says, hello Rebecca. She says she's just rolled in on her 4-year-old grandson looking intensely at their Grinch diamond painting, And then they realised that he was slowly picking the diamonds off. Why can't they do that when, like, we need them to? You know, if you've placed the wrong colour, it would be good to get the grandkids to do it then. They said they're just glad that it is one that they didn't really care for, so they just decided to throw it in the trash. They also found out that they can diamond paint much better when they're listening to my videos at the same time. So now you're playing constantly on my PC. Beautiful. It's fun to diamond paint with company, that's for sure. So I am happy that I can keep you company, and now you know that if you love a diamond painting, it needs to stay well away from the grandson. That's for sure, because he has a new hobby, which is taking them apart. Tiffany says, hey Rebecca, said they just had a thought that may or may not be possible, and that is, would you add would you / add more zest be able to bring in a monthly subscription for the limited edition trays? That is something that we can do on the website. I think there's a couple of reasons we've not done it yet, or a couple of things that sort of spring to mind that could potentially cause a problem. Well, not so much a problem, but not make it ideal. One is, there are a couple of months in the year that we don't do a tray or a coloured tray. Now, it doesn't mean we can't, but there is a couple of months that we tend to give it a rest. One is January. We tend to just do a clearance in January. And the second is when we do our big diamond painting launch in September. This year we're only taking October off, and we will be back in November. But we normally take a month or so off then to sort of just relax the purse strings a little bit, and allow us to deal with the a lot higher volume of orders that we get in September, due to it being our sort of big launch, should we say. That's what we call it, our big launch. So yeah, we tend to lay off for the month after that, because it takes us the full month normally to sort of get things back to normal. So that could potentially cause a problem. The other thing is, at the moment, it's whether, you know, everybody would be happy with whatever that month is. You know, if you do buy it no matter what, because we do have a couple of months coming up where a colour is, we have done it in one size before, one size of, hang on, I am trying to put a diamond down, and I'm ended up picking up one that I've already placed. Okay, hang on a moment. This glue dot has decided to come out of the pen a little bit. Maybe it was just too high up. Okay. Yeah, so we don't as much have the ability to sort of skip a subscription. And that's something that makes us wonder if we are going to have people that want the subscription and then don't, and then want it and then don't. So it's definitely something we'll consider, but it is something that we need to sort of think through all of those things first. One of the other things is, often people want to order things at the same time to save on shipping. And a subscription probably wouldn't allow that. A subscription would just be for the trays, and we'd probably start shipping those out the week before launch or the week of launch, to sort of get them on their way to the subscribers before the rest are put on the site. And that could potentially then cause a problem with people wanting to combine orders, or, you know, hold off on my subscription, I'm ordering something else. And that actually has a whole lot more admin work than I think anybody realises in the background. Combining orders, we are happy to do it when requested. We did a lot of them during clearance, because we do understand, especially during clearance, people have different levels of items, you know, that they urgently want, definitely want, and then things that they'd like, but they don't want to miss out on the things that they urgently want. So they put an order in for their urgents, and then, you know, provided there's still stock left of the other items, they then place an order for them and want them combining. Sometimes people just forget things. So we're more than happy to combine orders, because we understand these things happen and we try to save people on shipping wherever possible. But to have a lot more of those every month due to wanting to combine with a subscription is a lot of admin work. At the moment, we seem to have found a nice level for the trays. Mr. Star. While they do sell, and they do sell out, they don't sell out within minutes or within hours. So there is plenty of time for people to add all the bits they want to their basket before they check out. So yeah, it's sort of, that's why it's a little bit of a hard thing to determine whether it's something that is worth doing it for those reasons. Primarily the combining orders reason. I say it is a lot of admin in the background. For that, you know, making sure that we refund it, we work out any overpayments, we refund any overpayments. We've got to note down what orders are affected before we can even start packing orders. There's then more that we have to do when reconciling accounts to confirm why we've refunded, and what order it's linked to. So yeah, it's that side of things that is probably making us not do it as much or as quickly. If postage wasn't a problem, if it was just a matter of, you know, it was a download product or something, you know, we'd be more than happy to do it. It's the postage that makes it awkward, especially when it does cost so much more for postage abroad, just because that's the way the world works. Further it's going, the more it costs. Kaz, she says she hopes all is well with me. She says just a little update. She said hubby and I have thoroughly enjoyed their 2-day break away to Littlehampton. Gotta love a little getaway. She said they were upgraded to a bridal suite as it was her birthday. Very nice. And now that they're back, they have received their Diamond Art Studio kit, which they gave the wrong title last week. It's actually City Streets in the Snow that has 100 colours in it. Yes, that's my other favourite one from Helerico, or however you say it. That is another absolutely gorgeous design that I love. I have a few to do from her, and I have a feeling there will be more coming, just because the artwork is stunning. Primarily because the artwork is absolutely stunning. Right, let me change these diamonds over. I do sort of seem to be going for the blues at the moment. I'm kind of, my brain's ignoring the purples a little bit focusing on the blues. Right, I think there is only 2 of that little letter J, so let's get that one out of the way as well. Oh no, there's not, there's a few more here. Spotted a couple more. But let's get some of these out of the way, and then maybe I need to focus on some of this darker purple for a little bit. Get over. No, don't come off. That's the only thing when I'm pushing on it harder to try and nudge it over, because I hadn't quite got it in the middle. I've ended up picking it up with my glue dot again. Okay, done. Let's go for Z. I think there's more Z than H, but they're very similar. Ooh. Z is a very similar colour to the tray, and Z is 3837. Just in case you're wondering, it's a very similar colour to the bottom of the tray. She said 100 colours. She's going to hold time in that and actually start little quackers, as she's kitted it up already alongside the Alzheimer's ribbon diamond painting, which she's doing in honour of her father-in-law. Ah, lovely. It is so many times, there are so many new paintings that do just make you want to kit them up straight away and bypass everything else. There's a few times last year that I found it very, very hard to sort of say, no, I have enough paintings on the go, as you guys know, because you get to see when I interrupt with anything straight away. But yeah, I'm going to really try this year to focus on some in my stash, because there are some in my stash that I am so excited to do, and I actually love spinning the decision wheel. I often have a couple of paintings in mind that I'm like, oh yeah, be really happy if it picked that one. But having said that, I end up surprising myself sometimes with one of the ones it does pick, and me thinking, oh, actually, yes, you know, and it's sort of, I end up happy that the decision wheel picked it, even if it wasn't one in my brain in the first place. Because after all, I do love all the paintings in my stash. So yeah, it's nice for it to pick different ones. Maybe it'll pick one that's been in my stash for a little bit longer next week. Who knows? Time will tell. I'll be very excited to do that video, I know that much. Hennies says, hi Rebecca, love your videos. This painting is beautiful. They said they started diamond painting about 2 months ago and they're addicted. Awesome. Join the Addicted to Diamond Painting Club. We're all the same here. I don't feel quite right if I've not diamond painted in an evening. I feel like my evening's not quite gone how I wanted it to. It's my way to sit down and sort of unwind, but also feel like I've accomplished something by completing part of a diamond painting, or, you know, making progress on a diamond painting. So I definitely get the addiction feel, that's for sure. Every time I think, oh right, yeah, just gonna finish that section of something, and my diamond sticks to my pen. She also says she's greetings from the Netherlands. Raykid says, can I ask you something about tape? Can you use it for crafting stuff like diamond pen? If that's the double-sided tape, then yes, some people do use double-sided tape in their pens or in their multi-placers, and they do find that works for them. So there's a few different things that you can try. And I think sometimes what works for you depends on how hard you press as well. I'm finding at the moment, because this glue dot is really, really sticky, I have to press quite lightly to get it to stick. Quite often I'm actually picking the diamond up on its side. I'm not picking her up full on. And for that reason, sometimes glue dots don't work for other people, like they're too sticky. But yeah, double-sided tape is always something that is handy to just have. It has multiple different uses. And if not, just use it for wrapping presents instead. Just put the paper on the underside of your wrapping paper, and then stick it down when you wrap it rather than sticking it down on the top. So there's always a way to use double-sided tape, that's for sure. Kim, she says, when and if you do the Her Story mini paint gem kit, she says, do me a favour and skip doing the one with the super dark and bushy eyebrows. She says the one with the roses in their hair during a WIP and Waffle. She says she knows she's terrible. She says she's sure she accomplished a tremendous amount for mankind, but she just can't get over the rendition of the subject. She says maybe they will look better once they are completed diamond paintings. I will try and bear that in mind. If you see me kitting up Her Story, which I haven't done yet, it's not the one that I ended up kitting up last week, then do remind me just in case I have forgotten. Now I've said it out loud, I probably won't forget, but there's always a chance that I will forget depending on how long it takes for that one to pop up in my decision wheel. Because I'm trying to work through my Paint Gem mini stash, but you know, they keep releasing new designs, and yeah, I either seem to do a lot of them or not many of them. They go through phases, and it often depends on what big painting I'm working on and how excited I am working on it. I actually did do a couple last night, but only because I did a couple of sections on Walking in the Rain, and still had another half hour or an hour. Well, it was an hour originally before I was like, oh, I just want to diamond paint for another hour, but I didn't want to uncover just one section on Walking in the Rain and end up going through all the same colours that I'd just done in a big section. That's why I always uncover a section big enough for me to work on in that diamond painting session, because I actually do get annoyed if I end up doing, say, one section and then decide to do a second section. I feel like I'm doing all the colours again as though I've missed some. So I moved on to Paint Gem and actually ended up getting a couple done last night, but I've been having too much fun doing Walking in the Rain to do a load of them at the moment. Right, I'm not using this trash pot that often, so I've just moved it up to the top of my easel so I can get to some of these letter Z's, and of course I picked that one up too harshly. She also said, did you get your new JD Robb book on the 23rd of January? I did. I got it. I listened to it. I actually listened to it alongside my reread or re-listen of JD Robb. And I was listening to, I think I was on about book 8 at the time, maybe. I'm not sure what book I was on. But yeah, I actually listened to the JD Robb new book while I was doing things that I could concentrate on it for, because of course it's new. And then when I was doing things that I couldn't concentrate as much, or when I was going to sleep at night and listening to a book, I listened to the older one. So I actually had two on the go for a bit, and that was quite interesting. But it didn't last long, because whenever there's a new book, I very much focus on said new book until I've finished it. So it'll be quite nice once I've finished re-listening to the series to go back and listen to that one again. But yes, I have read that one. Madison says they're excited for the June Waffle because they'll be joining this year, and they hope that there's giveaways this year so that they'll try their luck to win a diamond painting from a high-end company. There will be actual giveaways in the June Waffle this year as well. There's actually a couple that I forgot in December's Waffle. I took them away in a cupboard. So I will be doing a few giveaways with those. I don't know how many others I'll be adding in. It won't be as big as December, but there will be some. There's also a couple that I have not heard back from the winners in December. But because everything got busy and we're now into February, I think I'm just going to throw them into June's as sort of a redo, a re-option for people to win for those ones. Blossom Chop says, please could we have a dragon cover paper? I'll bob that on the list, see if we can find a design in a couple of our suppliers for a dragon one that we have the rights to use. We have a few different suppliers that we pay for image use, and it is commercial image use as well, so we'll have a look and see if we can find any dragons, if there's some available. Grey Legrand, she says, what are you going to do with your purple tiger upon completion? She says, will you display it or store it in a binder? She said it's very pretty. And you can tell that Grey Legrand wrote this comment as she was listening to my WIP and Waffle, because she's then followed up with another comment saying, hitting pause, jaw dropping, she's getting the purple tiger. She said she searched for it the first time she saw it, but could never find the exact image. She says, happy dance. She can't wait. And yes, Grey Legrand has emailed me, and once this is finished and I have taken photos on whatever else that that's what I've missed, taken photos etc. for the logbook, then I will be sending this one on to Grey Legrand so she can enjoy it. I've actually had this one for years. I've had this one for quite a long time, so this is definitely an older painting, which is possibly why you haven't been able to find it, because say it's been quite a while since I got this one. Well, it does actually have DMC numbers, but this was from back in the day when you didn't always get DMC numbers. I mean, occasionally now you don't get DMC numbers on a painting, but more often than not you do. Whereas quite a few years ago, it would be more often that you didn't get the DMC numbers, and you get excited when you did. But companies seem to have realised that we want the DMC numbers. So they now seem to add them more than they don't. Asa Doroman says, wow, awesome painting. Thank you. Susan said she meant to comment about this last week, but totally forgot. She said she did a custom from Ever Moment for her nephew's wedding. It was a picture of the two of them, she said, and it was very confetti heavy. White sky, so 4 different colours of white. She said their canvas lines were so dark that even single placing and trying to get those drills as close as humanly possible, they could still see the lines through the painting, through the drills. She said, in her opinion, it totally ruined the whole look, and she'd never order a custom from them again. She says, white backgrounds are not fun with dark lines. So she hopes this helps. She does love this tiger and he looks fantastic. She said, thank you for sharing. And that's my thing I'm slightly worried about with the blank one from Evermoment. So I will have to see if they have improved it / fixed it before I order for my Heaven and Earth design. But I won't be doing that until I finish Walking in the Rain, so I have a little bit of time. Right, let me fill in that Z before I move on to the letter V. And I've got a diamond that decided it wanted to stay in the tray from the last lot of colour. So we'll take that out. Throw diamonds everywhere. Get in. Mrs. Thaxton, she says, she has a question. She says, when you get it up, the paint gem used a case that they've never seen before in their 5 years of diamond painting. Where did you get that? She said she knows that I put two different containers, that I put different containers in it, but they love that it's double decker. Oh, my double decker storage cases. I love these things. Where is there an empty one? Oh no, because they've both got paintings in them. These ones, that they have a row and then the case underneath. So I originally got mine from Amazon.co.uk. They were a really good price for a set of 3. The only reason I only have 2 at the moment is I did give one to my young niece. She took some diamond painting, little key rings and paintings and all sorts of stuff back to Australia with her. And I did give her the case because I figured that was the best way for her to keep her tray and her pen and everything all together. She helped counting some shop items, so I paid her with her own, to let her pick her own colour of tray and pen and things. So yeah, she used the 3rd one. But yeah, I got them. They were a really, really good price when they first came out. The seller that's done them has never done them since. And I've never seen them at as cheap a price. However, I would still pay the dearer price. I have managed to find one of the double decker cases on AliExpress. Because they ship to most countries in the world, they're the best place for me to link to if I can. And I have linked it on my website. Okay, this glue dot is picking up every diamond that it shouldn't do. So yeah, I do have it linked on my website. So if you go to admiralzest.com and click on favourites, that's where I put a lot of links to things that you guys ask for. So it is down as double decker storage and there is a link there. And then the standard 28 section case, they are the smaller 4 strips that I put inside that case. You can use the ones that you originally get with it. They are actually really, really good. Like, there is nothing wrong at all with the ones you get with it. I love them. There's just only 28 of them. And as many of you know, with Paint Gem, most of them have more than 30 colours. They have quite a bit more than 30 colours, some of them. So I've changed them for those smaller pots because I have loads of those 28 cases. I've changed them all for those smaller pots so that I can fit more in. It was actually somebody in the group who did it first up, and I was like, heck yes. And I've been using it that way ever since. So yeah, go to my website, admiralzest.com, go to favourites, and it's under storage. And there you will find the link to the 28 container set. You'll also find a link to the double decker. You may be able to get some cheaper prices on the 28 container set. It's been a while since I've sort of price hunted and checked the links, but even using that link doesn't make me any money, so don't worry about that. But clicking on that link will give you like the title of it and what they use to get it to show up for people in search terms, and it will give you some key terms to search for, and then you can check out prices on other ones if you want. They do take a while to arrive from AliExpress. Say I got them on Amazon UK, or at least I think it's an AliExpress code, is it? I'm wondering now if it's actually a UK one. Our favourites, diamond painting storage, double decker. You'll have to excuse the noise. My children have decided to hoover. Oh no, it is actually amazon.co.uk. But if you can use the search terms to try and find what you're searching for, or take a screenshot of it if you're not in the UK. And you can actually search by photo. You can search by photo on AliExpress. So if you take a screenshot of, or I don't know if you can save the picture, but if you take a screenshot of the case and just upload the part of the picture that's the case, you can often search that way. But yeah, I do have it linked there. I didn't pay $9.99 for one. I think I may have paid a little bit less than that for 3. But it's all that's available now. All that I've been able to find since, which is kind of sucks, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Every now and then I do go in my purchase history, because I got them a couple of years ago. Every now and then I go in my purchase history just to see if the original seller's selling them again. But I've never had any luck. I'm sure if they ever did come on, there would be a frenzy on the group after I bought mine, of course, because I'd have more. Yeah, they just work so well for the Paint Gem minis, and I'm sure they'd work for other smaller paintings as well. I think I've actually used it to kit up another painting, a bit like kitting up this purple tiger. Of course the painting wouldn't fit in the bottom, but your tray and your pen and stuff would, and then you could just take your painting and all your tools on holiday with you. So yeah, they're really handy to have. Okay, where was I? Oh, Sarah says happy birthday, Luna. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, I think I may have actually got through all the comments on the Thursday. I have all the comments on the Sunday WIP and Waffles. I've actually got through them. So what should we talk about now? This is where I need you to be, guys, to be able to reply to me straight away. Because normally that would be the right amount of comments for a nice length of a WIP and Waffle. But I would really like to finish this painting today. I'd like for it to not go into next week. I'd like to just do a Paint Gem next week. Oh, I think the door's gone because the dog's going crazy. That is the sound she makes, I think, when something has been posted through the letterbox. So yeah, sorry for all the noise distractions. It is a Sunday here. This house is often all go at a weekend, people in and out and shaking it all about. But yeah, I'd love to get this finished today. And things do get quicker, I find. I don't know whether it is... There must be some truth behind it, but I always find that paintings get quicker when you are nearer the end of finishing. Now, whether that's just because you can see what symbols you're wanting clearer, because of course there's less symbols to look through. The rest have got diamonds on them, and it's amazing how easily you can... I was actually thinking this last night. It's amazing how, considering the diamonds make the picture, like, you know, it looks, of course, we put the diamonds on because it looks so much better when the picture's completed. So considering the diamonds make the picture, it's amazing how when you're working on a painting, your brain can actually, in effect, ignore the diamonds that have already been placed. What you're looking at is the symbols for where you yet need to place them. You're not looking at the ones you've placed. You're not looking at whether that's a pretty blue next to it, whether the ones that you've placed are making up the picture that you actually are doing. You know, whether the little intricate details look right and all that sort of stuff. You actually get to concentrate on just the symbols, just where you need to place them, and you sort of, in effect, your brain switches off to the rest, and can make it, say, easier to focus on the symbols that you need to do, which I think is what makes it quicker when you get near the end, because I'm not having to look all over this space for some of these symbols because they're not in the equation anymore. But yeah, it's so nice as well, because when you do finish the painting, the section, your diamond painting session for the day, whatever it is, and you take a step back, that's when you see the diamonds themselves and the image that they've put together and how the painting looks. Now, you can do that while you're diamond painting, you know, when you decide to take a sip of your drink, or in my case, when I decide to look up at the camera and I can see it in the screen for the camera that just, you know, shows it from a distance to me. And I can get the effect of the painting so much more. I don't know whether that's one of the little things that I enjoy about this hobby, or whether that's just a ramble about nothing, because I'm finding stuff to chat about. I think I had more going on last week through the week that I was able to update you guys on. And it's not so much happened this week, because quite a few of the things that we have managed to finalise and get organised, and some of the stuff that's arrived this week, some samples, some not, all that sort of stuff that's arrived is all actually for Advent. And I need to keep my mouth shut, because yeah, Advent is a surprise. So quite a few big things that have happened this week, and say we've got finalised this week, and preparation on some things that I have got started this week have all been to do with Advent for 2024. And yeah, it's off topic limits for now, but all I can tell you is I am so excited for many of them. I think it's going to be even better. Well, it is going to be even better than last year's, and I was so happy with how last year's turned out. But there's a few things that we have found for 2024, and a few things that we've done for 2024 or will be doing that just make it even better. I always wonder how we're going to keep coming up with different things, but then it just happens. I suppose it's like the diamond paintings. You always think, oh, I've got so many designs that I absolutely love. I don't need any more designs. And then some company brings out some artist design and it just grabs you. I think it was Diamond Art Club that nearly grabbed me with one of theirs this week. It was like, ooh, that's pretty. It was actually a darker one. It was a mountain scene, I think. But the picture just made me go, ooh, I like that. But it wasn't enough for me to put it in my cart. So I am still being good. I was going to say I haven't bought any this year, but I think I did buy that Christmas one from Dreamer Designs in January. Was it in January or was it in December? Maybe it doesn't count if it was in December. I've not done the unboxing for it yet. I've got a couple of Dreamer Designs to do unboxing for. I've also got a couple of Diamond Art Studios. A few of them I've actually had for a while. I've just been waiting for their restocks. So I'm still going to stick to, I think at the moment I'm on like one unboxing a week. It's either a Fan Sales Friday, on this channel anyway, on this main channel. It's either a Fan Sales Friday or one of my others. Just to spread those out a little bit. Plus, I've got so much dekitting and stuff to do. So I've got Field of Memories to dekit this week. And then I've got a kitting up next week, of course, for my next big painting. I'm excited for that one. But then I'm going to have Purple Tiger to dekit the week after. And then it wouldn't surprise me if I'm going to quickly follow that with a Paint Gem mini set, depending on how much I get done. But I am really trying to work in a Paint Gem mini at least a few times a week. I'm not quite setting myself the challenge of doing one a day yet, though I'm tempted. I am tempted to try and do a Paint Gem mini a day. I might do it through 1 month of the year. Maybe March would be a good month. To do one Paint Gem mini a day, which would get me through two sets, maybe a bit of a third, depending on how many are in each set. So if there's only 12, then I'd get through 2 and a bit. But if it's a 16 set, then I'd only get through 2. But yeah, maybe I need to do myself the odd little month of doing that, of doing a Paint Gem mini per day. We're already on the 4th of Feb, so Feb's not going to work for it. Though you could say I've caught up because I did a few last night. Yeah, we'll see what painting I end up kitting up again next. And then maybe I'll do a Paint Gem mini a day and give you a little mini update on my WIP and Waffles as to how that's actually going. And maybe that'll help me work through some of my Paint Gem mini sets. Because I quite enjoy doing a challenge like that for a month. I don't like to make it, more than that. I'm not as keen on more than that because then I feel like it becomes a chore. More than, something fun to challenge myself to. But yeah, maybe I should do that for March. And make sure that I've got sets. Well, I can still kit up sets throughout the month. De-kit a set and kit up a set through the month. And yeah, see if I can get through 30 Paint Gem minis. Because frankly, I don't quite know how many sets of Paint Gem minis I have. But I know I could probably do the challenge for the whole year. And still have enough. In fact, how many have I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 that have not been kitted up yet. And 2 that are kitted up. So 20 sets. Now I know her story only has 4, but most of them have 12 or 16. Some of them might have 10. So if we say 20 with 10 in each, that's 200. Okay, so maybe it's not quite a full year yet. Would be if I had them all. But it's still a fair chunk of sets, considering I haven't got Mystery 3 yet. I am planning on getting it soon, but I haven't got that one in my hands yet. And they keep releasing more, so I don't think I want a full year challenge though, as tempting as it would be to complete 365 of them. I think I will do that over time rather than all at once, or once a day for 365 or 366 days as it is this year. Yeah, I think we'll just stick with 1 month's worth and get through 2 sets in a month. I think that'll be a nice one. And then maybe I can do one again at another time later in the year. So we've got the June waffle, September, October, one of those months. Try it maybe October. September's a bit busy for us, so maybe October I'll try and do one a day for a month again, a bit like I was doing with my Heaven and Earth design last year. I had a couple of months where I was working on it, setting a challenge to do a section a day over a few months. Or was it 2022 I did that? Might have been both years. Where I was focusing on a section a day done. And if it can get me through a painting that is 2.5 meters long and it'd been on the go for 4 years, 4 years, 3 years to do half of it, and then 1 year to do the other half of it, because of focusing on doing a section a day. Now, albeit it was for more than a month, but if I can do a couple of months of focusing on doing a paint gem mini a day, I reckon I'll be able to get that stash down as well. Though, having said that, I don't mind that stash anywhere near as much. Doesn't bother me that I have a load of paint gem mini sets not yet done. There are a few sets that I am itching to do, but the decision wheel hasn't picked them yet. Even Mystery 1 I've not yet done, and I'm quite keen to see what those end up being, but it's not yet picked it, so I need to be patient. But if I do one a day throughout March, then I'll get to kit up a couple more, which means I'll get to spin the wheel, which means I may end up getting that one in my selection. Who knows? Let me know what you think. I know the Paint Gem Minis are either a bit of love or hate. And sometimes, you know, I say hate is a harsh word. It's not a full-on hate. But sometimes it's the cost and things like that, and I do get that. I do appreciate that. But they are ones that I absolutely adore doing, and I can't hide from that. But I do try to adjust my videos to not be too one or the other heavy. You know, we have a Thursday where things are the same video all the time. But that will switch up when, of course, that painting's done. It will go to another company to do. So Thursdays are very Diamond Art Studio heavy at the moment. That's my long term. But then I try to mix up my WIP and waffles and things to show a variety, really, both for me and for you. But those Paint Gem Minis aren't going anywhere until I finish them, because I just enjoy doing them so much. Had some real fun with some of the retro ones last night because they are so bright. So bright and funky colours. But yeah. What else have I got on this next week? Oh, my logbook, I think, is my other big video this week. Let's have a look. Calendar. Yeah, so I've got my logbook video, which will be going up tomorrow. I know that's not all everybody's cup of tea either. Some people like the little update and organisation. Some people don't, which is fair enough. But yeah, I will be getting the photos ready for that. That video goes up tomorrow. And I've got quite a few photos to update from January. So for anybody that watched my January logbook update, where I updated everything, there was quite a few photos that I was sort of missing. But because of the December events and not actually getting my logbook updated for November, before the December event started, just because things got crazy here, I had quite a few different things to update, and I didn't have photos for a lot of things. But because it had been so long since I updated it, you know, when a project just gets a little bit too crazy to sit and figure it all out, you sort of have to start the project and then figure it out. So I started the logbook update, got all the words and everything updated and my new paintings put in, and the only thing that needed left to be done was the photos for them. And that is the section, that is what I need to print out, is the photos for them, and make sure that I've got the photos for this next month for what was completed in January. But because the paintings actually, you know, sort of weren't that many, because I'm only doing the 1 month's worth and not 2 months worth, it's easy enough to do the photos beforehand, unless my brain forgets what I've done. YouTube is such a big help at reminding me what paintings I have or haven't done. And what paintings I've unboxed, because I do only put unboxed paintings in my logbook when I unbox them, not necessarily when I receive them, because then I think it flows more for you guys. And the diamond paintings that I've not yet unboxed sit in sort of a different part of my craft room to the ones that I have. So I can kind of make it work. Occasionally my brain does think, have I done this one? Is this one in my logbook or not? And in that instance, I go back to my YouTube videos to let me know which ones I need to make sure that I've added. But I am planning on printing off some pictures for ones that I've yet to unbox, so that I have them ready for future months for my logbooks. Right, I've spotted one I've missed down here. I feel like I'm racing against my battery now. It's flashing. I don't know how long it's been flashing for. So it could be that I finish this painting before it goes off. It could be that I have to change my battery. We shall see. The race is on. So I've decided to do this colour that I need to tip into my tray due to the amount that I have. And then I'm going to go in and fill the 2 missing pieces. One is a colour that there's only 1 of. Oh, no, 3 missing bits. I've just spotted another one that I missed from the one I did before. So I've got 3 diamonds to place, and all 3 are different. So we want the dot. Let's add the dot, and then the 2 that I've missed from before, because even though I said it was quicker, it obviously wasn't. You're less likely to miss them when you get near the end. No, you're not. Not in my case, and not today. But we did it. Sorry if it does feel like 30 more seconds. That's all it needed to give me, was 30 more seconds. I have to take my camera down to change the battery and then put it back up, and then I'm going to have to take it down again to take my memory card out. Anyway, at least I don't have to speak as fast now. But Purple Tiger is complete. He will be on the way to you soon, Grey Legrand. I'm going to get a photo of him while I'm getting my logbook photos ready, because why not? I finished it on camera beforehand, and then I need to find some way to either flatten him or roll him on something to make sure that he gets to you in one piece. But he's finished for today. That is a nice way to end this whip and waffle. Quite a lot of him has been done on this whip and waffle, if not all of him has been done on this whip and waffle. That's actually, he sparkles more when the light pad's on underneath him. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me for this whip and waffle. Thank you for your comments, questions, all the rest of it. And yeah, I'll speak to you all again soon.